Hey guys, it's Jansen here and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, we're going to be walking through my tips for people that are just getting started with Amazon FBA. And these tips are all things that I really wish that I'd known way back when I very first started, because not only would they have saved me time, but they would have also saved me money and basically just stopped me from faffing about. So I really hope that you guys get value from my insider beginner secrets. So the first thing that I wish I'd known before getting started with Amazon FBA, or the first thing that I wish I was aware of, is that it is not a race. Okay, I remember when I very first discovered Amazon FBA, my mind was buzzing and I was genuinely so excited on the first day that I discovered it that I couldn't sleep. I was that excited, and because of that excitement, I was really keen to get started as quickly as possible, like just to find a product, to get it ordered, to get selling and start making money as soon as possible. And I kind of wish that I'd had somebody to ground me and say, Jansen, it's not a race. This is a real long-term business that you're about to create, that you want to give you an income stream for years to come. So chill out, calm down. Amazon isn't going anywhere. So that's my number one tip for you guys that are just getting started. Take your time and do things properly. Don't take shortcuts to get started, and make sure that you're thorough and that you do your product research properly. Now, the fault of mine that I did when I very first started is that I kind of didn't take any of that into consideration. And I started my product research and I found a product and I was like, yep, this will do. This looks fine. The sales look good. I'm just gonna go online to Alibaba and get samples and purchase it. And anyway, I got samples through, and then that's kind of when it hit me that what I was creating here was a real business and it wasn't a get rich quick scheme. And then I kind of thought, actually, Jansen, this product doesn't really make too much sense. So had I have taken a step back when I very first started and realized that it isn't a race, Amazon's not going to disappear overnight, I would have saved time in terms of negotiating with suppliers over samples, over what was a rubbish product, and I would have saved money. I wouldn't have incurred those sample costs. So that's my first tip from me. Take your time and don't panic. Just honestly, trust me, if you're rushing now because you're like, I need to get in for Christmas, just think, I'm creating a real business here. There's going to be a Christmas next year, and guess what? There's going to be a Christmas the year after that and the year after that. So take your time, do your diligence properly and get it right first time. Now, my second tip for beginners, and this is something that also tripped me up a bit when I very first started, is don't spend all of your money on stock. This is something that I see happen all the time with people in the Facebook groups and when just generally browsing new listings on Amazon. What happens is people get their entire investment and then they go out and put it all into stock, and they don't have any money left over to have a logo made, to have packaging designed. And most importantly, they don't have anything left over for photographs or renders or for image editing for their listing. You could have the best product in the world that is just amazing and blows everything else out in the water. But if you can't showcase that to customers on your listing through your images, then you're not going to be able to sell. So it's really important that you keep a couple of £100 aside in order to have your logo made, your packaging designed, but more importantly, to have your images designed so that you can showcase to the customer what makes your product so great. So make sure, guys, that you don't plow everything into stock, because it will really come back to bite you. Now, my third tip about negotiating is something that I definitely wish I'd known, because it actually resulted in my first product eventually failing. So if you're new to the channel, what basically happened is I launched my very first product and it sold really, really well. After 2 or 3 months, it was generating like £30,000 worth of revenue per month, which I was blown away with. But I got a bit greedy, and what I did is I went back to my manufacturer and I kept negotiating and drilling them down on price. And I was like, Jansen, you're the man, you're negotiating hard and your profit margins are sky high. But guess what? It came back to bite me, because what happened was the quality of the product suffered. I ended up getting sent a product that was appalling in terms of its quality. It didn't even last 1 or 2 weeks. And as a result of that, customers were playing around with it. They were seeing that it was rubbish quality and they were requesting refunds and giving me 1-star reviews. And because of that, my review rating fell and it resulted in me having to kill the product. I couldn't sell it anymore because my review score was too poor versus competitors. So my tip that I wish I'd known before I started is don't think that negotiating to a rock bottom price is a win, because it's not. What you need to do is negotiate to a price that you genuinely think is fair for both parties. So when you're doing your negotiation, what I would say is you need to be going out to a variety of suppliers, getting samples from them, testing the quality, and then just seeing how the price differs across each. Like if all the suppliers are saying to you the price is $4, then don't think that you're some absolute entrepreneur by negotiating them down to $2, because whilst some of them might accept that, it might result in, or it probably will result in, the product quality being awful and you just being sent junk. So be sensible with your negotiation and remember just to be fair when you're actually doing the negotiation process with your supplier. Now, my next tip for beginners is something that I did actually know before I joined Amazon FBA, but I thought it was well worth mentioning here. And that is, if you're serious about being successful with Amazon FBA, you should 100% be trying to network as much as possible with other people that do Amazon FBA as well. And the easiest way to do this is by joining Facebook groups for Amazon FBA. They're completely free, and honestly, they are amazing at doing a number of things that will help you on your journey. So firstly, they'll help you pick up lots of tips and tricks, because people generally like to post like things that they've learned or things that they've done in the groups. So you'll pick that up. You'll also pick up like the latest pieces of Amazon news. So if Amazon has a change in policy or makes a certain announcement, you can pretty much bet that it will feature in a group. It definitely features in the group that I run, the Amazon FBA Smashers, and it will also help to give you motivation. So one of the amazing things about these Facebook groups is that they're very prevalent on your feed when you do join them. So me, for example, when I first joined all these groups, when I first started Amazon FBA, every day on my feed, instead of seeing rubbish statuses from my friends about, I don't know, whatever they were doing, I was seeing Amazon FBA posts, and I was being constantly reminded about what other people were achieving and just about stories in general. And that really helped me to stay motivated and committed to the cause. And in addition to that, you know, I've genuinely made so many like friends, like online friends from Amazon FBA as a result of this, which has really helped me in many areas. It's helped me to learn more about Amazon FBA. It's helped me to meet people that have got skills that I don't possess, so graphics editing, video editing, and all sorts. And it's also helped me to meet people that can buy my product and give me reviews. So hopefully I've pumped up this point enough for you. If you're not in any Facebook groups at the moment for Amazon FBA, I'd highly recommend it. You can join the FBA Smashers group of mine. It's free. It's got 4,000 members now, I think, who are all committed to Amazon FBA, want to absolutely smash it, and we'd love you to join. Now, my final tip, and again, this is something that I wish I'd realized sooner rather than later. This is something that, again, trips so many people up, and it's the one reason why people end up failing or quitting Amazon FBA, and that is that they are looking for a perfect product. Now, I'm going to tell you something now that might shock you. Perfect products don't exist. When you're doing your product research, looking for something to sell with Amazon FBA, the chances of you finding a product that ticks absolutely every single box is going to be remote. It's going to be so low that you're going to be looking forever. And that's the one reason why so many people start Amazon FBA with good intentions and they just get demotivated and quit, because they're always looking for that product that's like a 10 out of 10, where the risk is zero, where it's like a sure winner. And guess what? It never happens, because they don't exist. And it's not just with Amazon FBA products, it's with any product in the world. Like, look at this, the iPhone. It's the #1 selling phone in the world, I think. But is it perfect? No, it's not. The battery life sucks. Sometimes it freezes. My storage is always running out. Like, there's so many things wrong with it. But at the same time, there's also so many things right with it. You know, it's a great size, it's got very easy user interface, lots of other things that I can't think of on the top of my head. But the point I'm making is, it's the #1 selling phone in the world, and people know that there's things wrong with it, but they're also very aware of the things that are right with it. And that is the same with an Amazon FBA product. You need to find something that gives you confidence and that makes you feel that, you know, you could sell this to a customer, you could highlight the good points, and the customer would be like, yeah, that sounds good to me, I'm going to buy. The most important thing when you're selling a product with Amazon FBA is that you can differentiate and that you can look for ways to add value, not to find a product that's absolutely perfect and that's 10 out of 10 and that there's no risk, because as I say, that doesn't exist, and if it does, you are going to be looking forever. So that's something that I wish I'd known. And as I've mentioned in the past before, the products that I sell that generated me £70,000 worth of revenue last December in the busiest period of the year, are they perfect? No, they're not. And the thing is, it doesn't matter. Customers understand that. I remember with my second product, actually, it's got a bit of a flaw that I wasn't particularly happy with. And my supplier said, why don't you just make customers aware of it? Like, it doesn't matter. They'll be happy with all the things that are right with it. And I was like, no, as soon as they find the thing that's wrong with it, it will put them off. But, you know, eventually I kind of thought the supplier's probably right here. So I pointed out all the amazing things that my product could do and then said, this is the one thing, by the way, it can't do. Did it impact my sales? Did it? Heck, I generated like £70,000 of revenue, mostly with that product. So the point I'm trying to say in a long-winded way is, don't be looking for a perfect product because it doesn't exist. Just look for a product that you think is very good and that offers you an opportunity to differentiate and add value. So hopefully for those of you that are new to the Amazon FBA world or just getting started, you've picked up some valuable tips there that will save you time, money, stress, effort, everything. It will basically help you. So if you've enjoyed this video, guys, please remember to subscribe and like the video. And as always, I will see you next time for another Amazon FBA tutorial video.